This is the 1745 Energy. Lee Williams design. Now the flipper tab on this guy is pretty neat. It's actually separate from the blade stock. So when you flip the flipper down, it retracts into the frame and becomes jimping. Pretty clever idea, and it keeps that flipper tab out of your cutting path. This is the smaller counterpart to that. It's the 1740 Energy. Same principle though. The flipper tab is separate from the blade stock, so when you flip it, it becomes jimping. Excellent knife, excellent everyday carry. I like it so much. I've got 3 of them. Got a black version here. The handles are G10. And the gray one, which is G10 with Track Tech inserts. Excellent knife. If you can get your hands on one of these, they are fantastic. This is the OD1 or 2, I can't remember which the large version is. This is also a Lee Williams design, and as you can see, the flipper tab has vanished. It's actually recessed in the handle, just like the Energy. However, this one does not create jimping. It just retracts into the handle. Deployment looks really smooth and really easy, but if you've got your finger on that lock bar in the wrong position, it'll give you that death lock and you can't disengage the knife. We got a blur. This is an S30v Steel. Really pretty knife, really broad blade. You got that recurve action going for accelerated cutting in the belly. I understand the principle behind them. I just don't like them. I don't think they're necessary, and they just make sharpening difficult. This is the injection. Real budget-friendly knife. 8CR13 MOV steel, if I am not mistaken. This is the Nitrix Mini in Blackout. This is a really, really snappy knife. They've got this detent perfect. This thing just flies as soon as you hit that flipper tab. It just wants to rock it right out. Real fun to fidget with. I haven't really done much with this knife since I received it. The plunge area is a bit of a mess. I don't know if you can see where that plunge line starts, but there's a bunch of metal that will have to be removed when you sharpen this. You'll have to basically create a finger choil down here to get past that plunge. It's a leak, just your standard black aluminum, speed safe, Warncliffe blade. I think every knife enthusiast has had one of these, or at least held one. Very popular knife. Needle-like tip. I've seen more broken tips on leaks than I think any other model. I like Kershaw's speed safe action. It allows you to open and close the knife one-handed. Some assisted knives, the spring action is engaged for the full rotation of the blade, making closing it difficult with one hand, but the speed safe will allow you to close the knife almost at 50% before the spring starts to actuate. Another budget knife from Kershaw. This is the Oh So Sweet. I know Kershaw gets a lot of heat for their pocket clips. As long as they work, I really don't have an issue with them. Yes, I agree they could be designed a little better, but if the knife stays in my pocket, well, it's doing its job. Again, speed safe knife, can close it one-handed. put in some jimping myself along the blade. Not the best job in the world, but it does what it needs to do, which is give me grip. This is the 1700. I think a lot of companies got these knives and engraved their names in them. This one actually has Jeep. Just a little bitty pocket knife, something you can throw in your change pocket. No pocket clip. Skyline and carbon fiber, S30v Steel. These knives used to be very popular. They've kind of fallen out of favor. I hope it's still around in 20 years. It's a fantastic design. Not the best flipper in the world, but it gets the job done. You can push button, you can light switch. It does take a little oomph to get it out, but it does what it needs to do. I've got a standard Skyline here, 14C 28N, G10 handles. This knife carries better tip down. When you put the pocket clip tip up, you have a whole lot of the knife sticking out of your pocket. This is one of the Emerson collaborations. I'm not sure what the designation is. This was the only Kershaw design that they did with Emerson that I actually liked. Just got a cool clip point type blade, saber ground. I'm not a big fan of the wave feature, or thumb discs for that matter. I have my difficulties with them. Finally, we have the crown models. I use these guys as sharpening guinea pigs. I've probably got 13 of these guys floating around my apartment. I just use them for sharpening videos when I'm showing off a different stone. Pretty heavy knives, but they're very affordable. You can still get these on eBay under 15 bucks a pop. The guy I was buying them from was selling them for like $11, which is not a bad deal at all for the knife. Well guys, I appreciate you watching. If you have any questions or comments, as always, leave them below. Y'all have a good one.